to mention and discuss on my last live. So I wanted to jump on here real quick and talk to you about those things. And one of the things that I really hear a lot of guys that are married or relationships they talk about. One of those things is their woman just doesn't act like she used to. She doesn't treat them like they used to be treated, and they're just tired of it. They're just tired of it. It's not like when they first started dating. It's not like when they first started their relationship. It just seemed like grow and become better, but their relationship did not grow and become better. It became worse. And why is that? See, a lot of men, they don't realize, and maybe this is you, but a lot of men don't realize that women are different. Women have emotions. They have a lot of different thoughts and feelings, and they have a lot of different things going on within them that the average man just doesn't know how to handle. Average man just doesn't know and understand what's going on with a woman when they act a certain way, when they have emotions and all this stuff that's going on. And you're not necessarily supposed to, because as a man, you're a man, a woman is a woman, we're different. And at the same time, it's your job to understand women. It's your job to lead your woman, because when you don't understand your woman and you don't lead your woman, you'll never ever get the respect that you want. You'll never ever get everything that you say you want with your woman, or things that you've lost, or things that you've never had with your woman that you do want. You'll never be able to get those things. But it all goes back to understanding yourself. It all goes back to understanding why you do the things you do, why you think the way you think, your mindset, your beliefs, everything when it comes to yourself, when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to women. You have to understand those things, because if you don't understand one of those parts, whether it's yourself, whether it's women, whether it's dating, whether it's relationships, if you don't understand one of those parts, you take one part out of the system, the whole system falls apart. It's just like a car. You could have a really nice car, but if you take wheels, or you take away the engine, or you take away the transmission, it doesn't matter what you take away. Take away one of those things, guess what? The car is not going to operate the way it's supposed to operate. And just like you and being in a relationship, if you don't have the knowledge of those areas that I mentioned earlier, the relationship is not going to work out the way you want it to work out. So, going back to what I was talking about earlier is understanding women, understanding that women are emotional. That doesn't make them less than you. That doesn't make them bad. That doesn't make them good. That doesn't mean anything abnormal, because that's just who and what they are, right? They're emotional. That's fine. Now, that can be used to your advantage. And what I mean by that is, as a man, we have emotions, but we don't let our emotions control us. We don't let them run amok. We don't allow our emotions to create chaos where we act like women or we act like kids. We don't allow our emotions to do that. We have our emotions in check. And the way you have your emotions in check is when you're able to lead yourself. If you're not able to lead yourself, you can't have your emotions in check. And if you don't have your emotions in check, guess what? Your emotions have you in check. And then if your emotions have you in check, then guess what? The woman has you in check. So you want to understand that. When you control your emotions, you can see everything clear. When you can control your emotions, you can see everything clear. And as a man, you must have control over your emotions. Some guys, they grow up, they never are taught how to control their emotions. They're never taught any other skills and any other tools except for violence and being reactive. And when you result to violence, or you result to being reactive, that goes back to your emotions. You can't control it. So when you can't control your emotions, you're always going to act a certain way that loses respect with women. If you just jumped on here This stream is specifically about men that get into relationships and they don't get respect from their woman doesn't desire them, and they don't understand why women act the way they do. Me, I'm a relationship coach for men. What I do, if you're new on here, my name is Saul Palmer. What I do is I help two specific men. Firstly, I help men that are just dating. They're dating to get into a serious relationship. They want to actually date with purpose. They're not just dating to have sex. They're not just dating for fun, just dating just to say they're dating. They're actually dating women because they want to actually be with one woman or whatever you want to do, but they want to be in a serious relationship. But the thing is, they don't want to run into the bullshit, the heartbreak, the frustration that a lot of men that rush into relationships, they don't want to deal with that. So I'm here to help them take a smarter path, give them the knowledge and the wisdom so they can understand where they're at, where they're trying to be, and how to get there, but also almost like preventative. You know, you can prevent the preventable, but if you have a limited amount of knowledge, then it doesn't matter where you go, who you date, you're still always going to have that problem, and those situations are going to pop up where you can't handle yourself with a woman. So that's what I do with men that are single, but they're dating for a purpose of being in a relationship with a woman. Now, the other group of men I help with this channel specifically is I help men that are in the relationships, that are married, but they're frustrated because they're not being respected by their woman. They're being treated like shit. They don't get the desire. They don't get the sex, the intimacy, all those things that men wanted when they got into their relationship or their marriage. All those things they are not getting, and they're lost and confused and stuck and don't know why. That's what I help men figure out. Through my videos, you know, I teach, give my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience, but also through coaching one-on-one. And in the future, I will be doing group coaching. But other than that, that's basically who I am and what I do. But going back to what I was saying, when it comes to women and their emotions, you have to control your emotions, because if you can't control your emotions, a woman will know that you're not a man. Number one, you're just an adult male. That's it. You're an adult male, and she can't respect that, because a woman needs a man. A woman needs a man, not an adult male. And when you can't control your emotions, that lets her know that somewhere along the line, you were never taught how to control your emotions or yourself. And you also, she knows that you don't have any other skills. And hear me out what I mean by this. When you don't have the skills to control yourself, and you just run amok, or you get angry and you break shit, or you scream, you get violent, that tells a woman that you only have one skill. That's to go from 0 to 100, but there's nothing in between. So in her mind, she sees it as, well, if he doesn't have skills to control himself, why should I open up my heart to him and trust him and have confidence in him to lead me? And that's why you hear a lot of women say, you know, I need a real man to lead me, or I need a real man I'll submit to. And I'm not going to submit to any man that, you know, is not worthy of me, and all this other stuff you hear. But basically, that's the reason why, is because they know that if you aren't able to control yourself, then how can you control her? And it's not about control, like control or tell her what to do. It's leadership at the end of the day. And if you can't lead yourself, then you're not going to be able to lead the woman. And she already knows that based on how you act just with yourself. Is that simple. So when you understand that, and you really take the time to focus on you, because you have a lot of people that they make it to where you have to focus so much on the woman, you have to focus so much on external things. But see, the thing is, and I said this before, anything that's external, it's always going to shift. It's not always going to be the same. It may be rainy one day, it may be cloudy the next day, it may be sunny the next day, it may be a storm. It's always moving around. When it comes to materials, some of my younger guys, when it comes to materials, you're always going to get the new shoes that come out, the new clothes, the new phones, the new cars. It's always going to be something new and something changing and something shifting. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's growth. Growth is different. As men, we grow, we get knowledge, we get experience, we get wisdom, and we grow. So we do shift in that sense of growth. But what I'm talking about, external things, Things that always shift, not for the good, not for the best, but they just always shift. They always change. And that's the same thing with women. Women can be very emotional. Sometimes they change how they feel, sometimes they change their perspective. And those are the things that if you're so focused on things externally, you'll always be shifted just like the things that are externally. But as a man, you have to be grounded in yourself of who you are, a core belief of who you are, and stand on the strength of who you are. And when you stand on the strength of who you are, things that are external that shift, they'll see you and say, hey, this person is grounded. Or if it's a woman, this man is grounded. He's sure of himself. He can lead himself. He doesn't just let life or society shape who he is. Okay, I'm more willing to open up to him and to trust him than I am a man that is controlled by things external, or even his emotions, his own internal things that he can't control, who is him, which is crazy. So if you can't control yourself based on your emotions that you have, and you let things externally control you, then you're lost. You're completely lost, if that makes sense. So that's what I was getting on here to talk about. And it's really about knowing yourself, because people can tell you like, hey, this is who you are, you should do this, you should do that. And a lot of times people try to throw things at you that they don't completely understand themselves, and they assume that you understand it, but you don't understand it. And it's really having that self-awareness and being self-empowered, because when you have self-awareness and you're empowered, then guess what? That is when you become most valuable. That is when you become most powerful, because that is what you're judged by. Believe it or not, that's what you're judged by women. Not about all this external shit, not about things that change, and it's you. It's you at the end of the day. So just understand that. I like that. He who holds his tongue is greater than one who conquers his city. Exactly. Sometimes you get in situations where you want to say certain things, you want to do certain things, but I'm here to tell you, you can't just fly off the handle, because if you fly off the handle, you're going to make a mistake that is temporary, but it's going to last for a long time. So give me 1 second real quick, guys. All right, I'm back. But yeah, that's what it's all about. It's really just about, being able to control yourself, control your emotions, not letting your emotions control you. And you really have to take time for yourself. You have to really take time for yourself and be in solitude where there's nobody around, it's just you, and you're able to really focus. Because here's the thing I want to share with you that a lot of people don't really talk about. You may hear some cliche things like, hey, focus on this, gratitude this, but it's really focusing, because the more focused that you are, the more your emotions are harder to control you. The more focused that you are, the harder your emotions are to control you. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you. All right, my bad, I'm back. But yeah, so here's the thing. When you are focused, because when things are trying to pull your attention and pull you this way and that way, that is pulling you away from who you are. So when you're focused, because a lot of times what happens is, if a particular person or people, I'm not going to go into detail on that, but if you can control somebody, well, let me take that back. If you can take someone's focus away, listen to what I'm saying. If you can take someone's focus away, then if they're not focused on what they need to be focused on, and you take their focus away, their focus is on you. So hear me out what I'm trying to say. If their focus is on you, then that means they're not able to focus on what they need to focus on. So whenever you get distracted, whenever your focus is taken away, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's the news, whether it's media, whether it's women, whether it's bullshit going on around the world, whenever you're taken away from focus on you, that is when you're more susceptible to be controlled. Whenever focus is taken away from you, you're more susceptible to being controlled. And the reason why I say that is because You may be wondering, okay, you're talking about controlling myself. You're talking about not letting my emotions control me or not getting emotional as a man. Yes. And it starts with you being focused, because the more focused that you are, the less uncontrol that someone will have over you. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So the more focused that you are, sorry. So the more focused that you are, it's harder for someone to control you. It's harder for your emotions to control you because you're focused. And when you're focused, you become more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you don't make stupid decisions and react when you should be logical about what you're doing. About doing. If you get what I'm trying to say, give it a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, because that is what it's all about. It's all about you really having focus on yourself. How many times have you heard people say, like, don't be selfish. You just think about you too much. You. But here's the thing you have to think about. No matter where you go in the world, no matter what woman you're with, no matter the situation that you are in, it's always going to be you. It's always you. So why would you not focus on yourself? See, a lot of people, they don't like people who are able to focus on themselves, because they know that if this person focuses on themselves, that's where the growth happens. That's where they're able to really flourish in life and be successful, whether it's in business, dating, women, regardless of where it's at. If you're able to focus, you can go really, really far in life. And some people know that, but also a woman knows that. A woman knows that, okay, if he is getting emotional and he's doing all of these things that make him a boy or an adult male, not a man, she knows that you're being controlled by your emotions. She knows that you're being controlled by things externally. She knows that you're being controlled by everything except for you, your logic. She knows that. And when she knows that, how can she respect that? That's why I say it all goes back to you. No matter where you go, who you're with, it always goes back to you. But a lot of people, I don't want to say powers that be or whatever, but a lot of people know that when you're distracted and you're not focused, hey, I could sell this person this product. Hey, I could change this person's mind about this. Hey, I can make this person feel a certain way. And one thing that I try to talk to my younger guys about is first thing in the morning, try not to get on social media. Try not to get on social media, because every time you flip to a different post, you're always seeing something different that pulls a different emotion out of you or gives you a different perspective or a different thought. And when you have a different thought bright and early in the morning, the first thing that you do, that thought leads into an emotion, because your thoughts drives your emotions, and your emotions drives your behavior, and your behavior, guess what? It drives the actions that you take or don't take. So start focusing on you. If that means cutting out social media, if that means not talking to certain people, whatever that means to you, if you need to really cut certain things out of your life to be focused, then hey, guess what? That's what you need to do. Because the more focused that you are on yourself, it's not being selfish, it's not wrong or whatever you've been taught to believe. The better that you can focus on you, and the better that you can be, and the more growth that you have in your life as a man, you'll attract quality things in your life. Quality women, quality friends, quality situations, empowering friends, empowering women, empowering situations. You'll start to do that once you start to focus. And when you start to focus, then that will help you to be able to not be reactive when situations come up, because you're focused. If a magnifying glass is not focused, it can never burn a piece of paper. But if it's focused, it doesn't take too long, because it's so focused, it's able to burn that piece of paper within a minute. So the more focused that you are, the easier and quicker it'll be for you to be able to control your emotions and not let your emotions control you. The more focused that you are, the more you'll get respect from your woman, because she sees that you're focused, but also you're not being reactionary. You're not reacting to everything she says and does. And you're able to think clearly about it, because if she says or does something that is very emotional and reactive, and you're angry and you're upset about it, but you're not focused and you're not calm and you're not able to control your emotions, and your emotions are controlling you, this is what happens. You start to make and say things that you will regret later on. And I want to tell you this: women do not forget shit. Women do not forget shit. So if you want to nip it in the bud, start focusing on yourself. Start focusing on yourself, not being reactive, and really just having that self leadership at the end of the day, being able to lead yourself. Now, it may sound like, wait, well, how do I get the woman to respect me? Like, she doesn't desire me anymore. She acts a certain way. She does this and does that. It's all based on your behaviors. Because I don't care who you are. I don't care what country you go to. I don't care if you go to China, Japan, the Philippines, South America. I don't care if you go to Canada. I don't care where you go. Your behavior will always dictate the situations. So if a woman is treating one person, you heard about this woman treating another guy like shit, that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to treat you like shit. I'm not saying just, ignore red flags, but what I'm saying is a woman will treat a man based on his behaviors. There's women that are sweet and kind and cordial and feminine, and just the most sweetest feminine woman in the world. But if you act like a adult male and you act like a boy, she's not going to respect you, because sooner or later that biology and her psychology and just her subconscious mind of what she is and who she is going to set off red flags and fire alarms in her mind. Like, wait, why is this guy acting like that? Why is this guy doing this and that? I'm a nice, she's thinking this. She's a nice, sweet woman. She's feminine. She hasn't done anything wrong. She actually hasn't done anything wrong. But by you acting a certain way, it will make her act a certain way. And that's why I say leadership is important, because if you act like an adult boy or an adult man, adult male, if you act like an adult male, or if you act like a boy, guess what? She's going to treat you like that. She's going to treat you how you're acting. And if you act like a man that has dignity and can lead himself and has respect and doesn't let anything external control him, and doesn't let the world or his emotions control him, then why would she try to control you? You don't let anything else control you, not even your own emotions. So that's where that attraction and that desire comes from. Because, man, I can't get this guy to do this and that. I can't control him. I can't move him. He doesn't get upset. He speaks his mind. He's assertive. He tells me what it is. If I go against one of his boundaries or his standards, he'll check it. That's what she's looking for. That's what she's looking for. And a lot of times guys mess it up for other guys, because you act a certain way with one woman and another guy acts the same way you did, another guy acts the same way you did, and now this woman is with a new man, which is you or whoever, and she acts a certain way, and you're complaining, saying that all women are this and all women are that. But at the end of the day, a woman is only going to act a certain way to you based on how you behave, your responses. Do you get reactionary? Do you stay calm? Are you logical? Are you emotional? Those are the things you got to think about, because if you don't understand that, then you'll always lose with women. You'll always lose with women. So just wanted to jump on here, finish this live. I did it earlier, but I forgot to add and mention some of this stuff. And just want to see you guys successful, man. Whether you're dating and you don't want to deal with the bullshit that a lot of men that rush into relationships deal with now that they're married and in serious relationships, you don't have to deal with that. You don't. And my guys that are in relationships and you're married or maybe on the brink of divorce or whatever you're going through, there's always another way. You just have to have the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and take the right action, because the right action is going to contribute to your behavior. That's the right behavior, and it's going to contribute to your success and how a woman treats you. But I just want to hop on here and chat with you guys for a little bit. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you send this to somebody who may need to hear this. And if you are stuck at where you're stuck at right now and you're just trying to get forward, you don't know what to do, where to go, schedule a clarity call with me, absolutely free, 45 minutes, just to get clear on where you're at and what you want to do and what may be stopping you from getting there, because clarity is the first key and the first step. But until next time, you guys have a great one, and I will talk to you later. All right? Shout out to all my guys in the comments section. I appreciate that. I see you. Don't worry. I ain't ignoring you. I see you, and I appreciate the love. And you're the guys that, motivate me and keep me doing what I'm doing. So shout out to y'all. Y'all have a good one, though.